Are you a streamer looking to up your audio game but feeling so overwhelmed by all the different options out there? Well, stick around because in this video, I'm going over 5 practical tips to consider when buying a soundboard. All right, friends, in this video today, I wanted to go over a question that a lot of people ask me. I had a YouTube video that got lots of views all about soundboards, and I've gotten lots of follow-up questions. So what I want to try to do is I want to try to answer a lot of those questions that people have put in the comments by making more videos to get those answers to you. So one, if you're not watching this live on Twitch, I want to encourage you, follow my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/SouZy live. There's people in the chat. We're engaging, having a great time, and you could join us too. Also, I want to encourage you, in the description, I'm going to put a ton of affiliate links to some of the soundboards and things that I mentioned in this video. And if you click those links, by using those, it actually supports the channel as well. So I'd appreciate that. But down to business, top 5 tips I want to give you when you are considering buying a soundboard. And this is not even honestly just for streamers. A lot of people have gotten into getting webcams and getting cameras and audio because of COVID, and people are staying home. And now a lot of people are working remote, and some people honestly are just looking to up their audio even for just business meetings. So 5 things I want to encourage you to consider is, first of all, you need to look into USB compatibility. This is huge. I have had stories of people who have bought soundboards to try to stream with or whatever, and then they try to use it on the computer and it doesn't work. Let me show you what I mean. On screen now, I want to show you this soundboard from Behringer. Great board, right? It's a lower end board, so you're gonna get what you pay for. So you look at this board and you're like, hey, $100, it's got multiple channels, it's even, you know, got some knobs and maybe a master fader. And at first glance, without much knowledge, you might think like, oh, well, this is great. And I've known people that have just gone ahead and just ordered it, and then when they get it, they realize they can't plug it into their computer. So number 1 tip, huge, if you want to do business calls or whatever, you need a way to actually get this to plug into your computer. So when looking for a soundboard, you want to make sure that it is a USB. And you notice these 2 boards, I mean, they look almost the same. They're Q1202, Q1202. They look almost the same, but you gotta look out for the USB. Some people would see both these boards and be like, oh, well, this one's, you know, 109, this one's 99. Let me save myself 10 bucks. Do not save yourself 10 bucks because then you will not actually be able to use your board. So tip number 2, this is huge. Let's talk about price point, okay? When you're getting in the world of soundboards, microphones, audio, price is a big deal, right? Everything that you're buying, obviously price matters, but you can have scales. I mean, you can have something that's on the $50 range, $60 range, like this one right here. I mean, you can have something literally worth $59. And I've actually recommended some people get this little mixer right here, and it's 59 bucks. It's got 1 channel, right? For some people, that might be all that you need. But I get this question all the time. SouZy, what soundboard do you have? I have the Allen & Heath, right? Z6010FX. I love it. This board works well for me, okay? This video is incredible. I mean, this soundboard is incredible. It's got multiple channels. It's got everything that I need. But it was $459. Now, I'm a full-time streamer. I do this for a profession, so this is for me investing in my business. But the thing I want you to consider is this one is $60. This one is $460. So is this one, I did the math, is this soundboard that I have 7.5 times better than this soundboard? Because it's 7.5 times the price. I would say no. You got to understand the principle of diminishing returns. The more money you spend on something, you actually start losing your value when it comes to audio and things like that. No, this soundboard is not 7.5 times better. So you got to figure out where for you in your scale of really how much audio improvement do I actually need versus what I want to make, what I want to get versus what I'm willing to pay for it. So for most people, even though for me, this is the best soundboard in the market, it's not for everybody. Most of you won't actually need to spend this much. Most of you probably shouldn't spend this much. Most of you would probably be fine with just getting one of these. So price point is something huge you want to look at. There's scales all over the place. Take your time, really investigate and figure out the soundboard that is good for you. Tip number 3, I want to talk about real estate and portability online with this board right here. This is really great for streamers, not just because of the price point, but honestly because of the size. One thing you want to consider when getting a soundboard is how much space is it going to take up on my desk? What real estate am I going to lose? And some of you might have a small desk, and space for you is very, very important. I have this soundboard, which is pretty big, but I also have an 80-inch wide desk and 30 inches deep. So I'm not really concerned with real estate. I got plenty of space. I'm very grateful for that, but not a lot of people have that. So when getting a soundboard, don't just look at the specs of it, don't just look at the price point, but you want to scroll down, and whatever service you're using, you want to find out, okay, what's the actual size of this board? And normally on Amazon, if you scroll down, you can see right here, this is 13.6 by 13.2 by 3.7. Let's compare that to this one. I mean, 7.2 by 5.4. I mean, this one is way bigger. So it takes up way more space. And also think of it in terms of portability. So for example, this is the board that I use at home, but as a streamer, you might go on vacation, you might travel, you might have a business trip, or you might just be visiting family out of state, but you want to keep on streaming so you keep that consistency. This soundboard is not portable. It's too big. It's way too big. So for you might want to have a smaller board so that you can travel with it as well. Because for me, because I have the big board, I had to go out and buy a second board. I have a board that is a little bit bigger than this. I have the Q802 and I travel with that. I also have a Go XLR that I travel with from time to time too. So I've got multiple boards. You do not need multiple boards if you're not doing this full time. Just get one board that's going to work, one for your desk and for you to be traveling with as well. Tip number 4 to encourage you to look at is you want to really be able to get a board that you're going to be able to grow into. Don't just think about now. If you're going to invest almost $100, think about the future as well, right? So don't just think about how many XLR channels do I need now. Think about what content do I want to be making in the future. And for me, that has to do with the amount of XLR channels you have. A lot of these boards, people just think, oh, well, I'm just me as a streamer, using one microphone, and that's all I'm going to need. And if you're just starting out and you're gonna buy a low-end board for like $60, maybe no harm, no foul. But like, for example, my big gripe with the Go XLR, it's a $400 soundboard with some sound effects. It only has one channel. So if you're gonna invest $400 in a soundboard like I did with my Allen & Heath, I didn't just use this from day one. I've been using this board for 5 years. I've grown into this board, and there are very few times where I go, man, I wish my board could. Even though my production value has skyrocketed since when I first bought this. When I bought this, I was in a boiler room. I had a worse microphone. I was using a C920 camera, green screen, because I had a horrible background. But this thing has grown with me into now the studio that I'm at with sound effects and nice microphones and DSLR cameras and all the nice light. It's grown with me. I haven't need to upgrade or replace it because I bought something that was future proof. And so a lot of times what I see people doing is they'll get a board that only has one XLR input, and then a year from now, 2 years from now, they're like, oh man, I really wanted my wife to be able to do a duo stream with me, or I wanted to have a friend over and let's do like a little podcast, or I wanted to plug my guitar in, or I just wanted to have a second mic across the room, whatever. And now they have to go out and buy a whole second board. So their board wasn't able to grow as their content grows. And sure, you could say, well, as my content grows, I'm bringing in more finances, and then I can just buy another one. Sure, that's valid, but why spend more money when you don't have to, right? Why not just get a board from the very beginning that might be $20, $30, $40 more and that you can actually keep in the long term? The last tip I want to give you when considering to buy a soundboard, this one might sound a little counterproductive, but really asking yourself, do I actually even really need a soundboard? And here's the deal. Because as companies like Elgato are releasing more and more products, the reality is you're able to get some top-notch audio without ever having to get into the world of soundboards, spending the money, learning what all this stuff does. Elgato's really done a phenomenal job of really just simplifying things for streamers. And so there are several products I want to point your way that might help you realize. You may have come to this video, I'm convinced I'm buying a soundboard, but then you might see these last 3 products and be like, well, actually, maybe I don't need a soundboard. You can pick up the Elgato Wave. This is one of their brand new products, the XLR. It's an interface, so it's not a full-blown soundboard, but it's an interface where then you can actually have software in the computer to make some adjustments to your mic. You can also get things like the Elgato Wave 1 and the Elgato Wave 3, where not only do you not need a soundboard, but actually it's a 2-in-1. It is a microphone that has a gain knob, a mute button, and again, just like the Wave, it has built-in software on your computer to where you can make an adjustment for your mic. And so if you've already got an XLR, that you're excited to use, then you can go ahead and use the Wave XLR. But if you are just starting from scratch, don't even know what microphone you want yet, and you've come to this video looking for tips on when to buy a soundboard, the one thing I would consider, I would hope for you to consider, is actually with some of the products that are on the market today, do I actually even need a soundboard? The reason I shared this last tip is a lot of people, because of a lack of knowledge about audio, about mics, and about soundboards, they end up just assuming, well, I just need to spend a ton of money if I want to get quality. And in today's world, 2021, especially thanks to companies like Elgato, they've really just kind of made that different. Like, you just do not need to spend a ton of money anymore to get quality. You actually don't even need to learn about soundboards because they have done a great job with things like Wave. And so I hope these 5 tips have been helpful to you, because I get this question a lot, and so I wanted to make this video to bring that content your way. Well, friends, hope you enjoyed these 5 tips on what to consider when buying a soundboard. Hey, if you got value out of this video, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. But also, hey, join me over at twitch.tv/SouZy Live, link in the description below. I'd love to hang out with you, get to know you, but also give you room to ask more questions about this video or other ones like it. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, would love to have you hang out. But also, I'll drop my Amazon affiliate links down there if you want to pick up any of those boards you saw. It does support the channel, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time, friends, we'll see you in the next one.